I just like remember all this stuff when I say it, and then when I say it out loud, it's looking at the camera. That's the issue. Okay. Welcome back to another episode of The Lifestyle. My name is Shannell. So today I wanted to give you guys a little bit more insight on what my channel is all about. So for today and for the next few videos, I'll be bringing up some key concepts that I talk about a lot. So that way you guys can understand a little bit more about the culture of this channel. So first off, fun fact, I work in social media, so I love hashtags. So you're gonna hear me use hashtags a lot. You may notice that the tagline for this channel is, we're just like you, we just think different. Emphasis on think different. So our first hashtag is think different. So let me explain that a little bit further. Colossians 3:9-10 says, don't lie to each other, for you have stripped off your old sinful nature and all its wicked deeds. Put on your new nature and be renewed as you learn to know your Creator and become like Him. Keep in mind it says put on your new nature and be renewed. Now let's look at another verse. Ephesians 4:17-24 says, with the Lord's authority I say this, live no longer as the Gentiles do, for they are hopelessly confused. Their minds are full of darkness. They wander far from the life God gives because they have closed their minds and hardened their hearts against Him. They have no sense of shame. They live for lustful pleasure and eagerly practice every kind of impurity. But that isn't what you learned about Christ. Since you have heard about Jesus and have learned the truth that comes from Him, throw off your old sinful nature and your former way of life, which is corrupted by lust and deception. Instead, let the Spirit renew your thoughts and attitudes. Put on your new nature, created to be like God, truly righteous and holy. Again, notice it tells you to renew your thoughts and put on your new nature. Let's read one last scripture. This scripture is actually the foundation scripture for this channel, Romans 12:2. It says, don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. Now notice it says, let God transform you into a new person by changing the way that you think. Hence, think different. So when you think about it, the only difference between me and a non-believer is the way that I think. I believe that is so important for people to know, because a lot of times people have this misconceived notion that Christians are these weird hippie type people who go around and judge people or whatever else. I'm not really sure what people think, but it's exactly what I just said, a misconceived notion. We're literally just like you. We just think different. We can now have hope. We can now have joy. We can now have peace because of the way that we think, the way that we see our situations, the way that we perceive things to be happening around us. And we know that there is a hope and a future for our end. So I encourage you to put on the mind of Christ and change the way you think. Think different. I would love to see your stories and your comments about how your thinking has changed and has been renewed. So make sure you comment below, like this video, subscribe, and share this video. If it encouraged you, it will encourage someone else. Make sure you stay tuned next week for the next video. And remember, we're just like you. We just think different.